take a seat, sit back, relax, and welcome to the Kladecast. Today with me, I got one of my best friends, Hector Uribe. Hello, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, guys.
Hector's coming back on again. I haven't filmed a podcast for a while, and I guess I just got kind of tired, but I really wanted Hector on. He was an amazing guest last time, and he's back on again, so welcome. You got anything to say for the past viewers that listened to your last episode?
Thank you guys for viewing, and thank you for I don't know, Blake said it was 30 views. That's a lot of people. If 30 people walked in right now, I would be fucking overwhelmed. So thank you guys.
And it's even more than that because people are watching on YouTube and they're listening online. So there's a different amount of people. So more than people that are saying that is listed than that are just listening.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe I helped someone and maybe I didn't, but it's still cool to think that 30 people watched it. Yeah. At least 30.
And we got some shout outs from one of our mutual teachers that we once had, Miss Yee. Shout out to her if she's listening to this.
He's awesome. He's one of the best teachers I've ever had. And I'm not trying to
brown nose it.
Yeah.
Code it, yeah, whatever it is. But yeah, I think teachers can make a really good impact on life. Do you think that, or?
No, certainly 100%. I think I'm a huge part of the reason why the person I am today is because of teachers and because my parents are teachers. So.
Oh yeah, you've kind of always had to have a good appreciation for teachers.
Yeah, or else my mom would spank me. I'm just kidding. She doesn't do that anymore. That's a long time ago. But no, but my parents they're very focused on education, and although sometimes you kind of as a teenager you kind of hate education because you're tired of doing homework and tests are fucking terrible, but teachers, they can really have a good impact on you, and they can also have a really negative impact on you. So I've had I've had good teachers and I've had shit teachers. So I've just got lucky with the good teachers that I've gotten because they've helped me a lot and they changed my lives in a significant and positive way. Yeah,
I've definitely had a couple teachers in the past that have really changed my life. But I don't know, there's some things that you just can't learn from school. I was trying to think of just some random things about things I learned outside of school. I couldn't really name a specific thing, but just there's so much social things you learn outside of school, and there's just so much you learn on your own, and just learning from your peers. I've kind of learned a lot of bad stuff and a lot of good stuff from my friends.
Yeah, you kind of you want to be in an environment where you can learn good things, but you could also look at the bad things and say, let me step away from that.
I mean, I think it's also good to have bad experiences or bad social experiences. I mean, that's the only way you learn is from the bad things. Mm-hmm. And I actually got a story one time. It was the most random situation ever too. I got called up to the office one time, and this was in elementary school. And I got called up because I was showing everyone porn magazines, and this was in 5th grade, and
you haven't changed. Just kidding.
But I got called up to the office, and they're like, "Listen, we know you had porn magazines. Where'd you get them? Why are you showing people?" And I had no idea what porn was. I didn't even know what sex was. What am I supposed to I'm getting called up to the office you're doing this and that. I didn't know what it was. And then I got sent home that day, and my parents were interrogating me, "Where did you get this porn magazine?" And I was just crying. I was "I don't know what that is. I don't know what's sex." I was "I don't know. And some kid apparently was just told his parents and told the school for no reason that I was showing porn magazines and stuff.
Just to spite you.
Just to spite me. I don't know. That was a good learning experience for me. I don't really know what specific lesson I learned from that, but that was definitely a good life lesson.
Some people are fucking assholes. That's what you learn.
A lot of people are assholes.
People are trying to see your success and they're trying to downfall that.
Dude, they want the downfall. They don't want me succeeding on the Kladecast.
DJ Khaled suffering from success. I'm just kidding. But I've had a similar situation with middle school. I remember middle school. There was this kid in the middle, in the morning. All the kids would be playing on the grass and having fun, and there would be a whistle, and if you heard the whistle, it was from the vice principal, and the vice principal, if you heard the whistle, everyone had to stop and go back to class, right? And so a kid, I'm not gonna say his name obviously, he took a whistle and he blew it, he blew it so loud, and it was recess ended early, so everybody went to class. And so it was super funny, and I was laughing, and later that day, I got called up because I saw it happen as a witness, and I was interrogated by the principal, and I was so scared that I ended up saying like shit that I didn't even know. Like I was just lying because I didn't want to get in trouble, and nor did I want to like snitch this guy out. But it's it's really conflicting because you want to do the right thing, and then middle school and elementary school, you do the stupid shit and you do some good shit, but you learn from it for sure.
High school is definitely like a way better experience for me. Like I've made so many new friends. Like I'm just so much happier in high school. Like middle school and elementary school were just like depressing. And like I was like a bad kid in like elementary school and middle school.
Were you doing crack?
No, I was doing heroin.
Yes.
No, I wasn't doing heroin.
We shouldn't be joking about that because but this is funny. It's true.
Like in elementary school, like I remember one time, like it's really messed up, but I got like this other kid. I'm not gonna say who it is, but if they're listening, I think that they listen to the podcast. This person, me and my friend, me and him, we wrote like fake Valentine love letters on Valentine's Day in like elementary school. And it was like from like all the ugly kids to all like the super pretty kids in elementary school. And we wrote like, "You are so hot, I love you," and like put it in their cubbies, like from the other person. And I got caught doing it, and it was so embarrassing. Oh my god! But like, obviously, I would have gotten caught. Like that's just me being like a bad kid.
I mean, that's like not a cool thing to do, but you're a child. So like, if someone's gonna like hold you accountable based off of what you did when you were like, how old were you? Like maybe like 11 or 10. Like, come on, don't worry about it. You changed.
I thought that was pure comedy gold when I was younger. I thought that was hilarious.
It's not harmless at all. Maybe, I mean, yeah, it's probably very funny for you at the point in time when you were doing it. But I've done stupid shit. I mean, I've gotten in trouble. I've teased kids. Kids teased me. So it's just kids grow, and you shouldn't really hold people accountable, and you shouldn't hold grudges like that. So
yeah, and like both you and I, like we obviously know that like we've changed so much as people. And like what sucks is because I know that people still judge me based off who I was in middle school, and like I do not associate with my past self. Like if I were to look at my past self now, I would want to punch myself in the face. Like yeah, I would definitely want to punch myself in the face. I just didn't like myself. I was doing bad stupid shit, and I've definitely like evolved, and I'm becoming more of an adult. I'm working now. I just got my first actual job. I'm gonna be a water boy. So I'm doing that. I'm doing the podcast. I'm just growing up.
Yeah, you're grinding, man. And some people aren't grinding at all. They're just sticking with their teenage lives, which is not very good for them. So it's good that you're maturing. And the same thing with me. Like I look back in like elementary school and like middle school. I kind of hold it with a lot of disdain because you compare yourself to now, obviously it's going to look terrible. It's going to look like, what else? So you can't really look back on it. So you just got to say like, that happened and that allowed me to become who I am today. And I'm proud of myself, who I am today. And I'm just happy that I'm growing and growing. Like a year ago, I was a totally different person. A totally different like set of views. And when quarantine hit, that allowed me to completely change into a better human. It just takes time, and it takes lots of tribulations and lots of like just trials and to get to the point where you're happy with yourself. And it's always going to be like a state of like not cohesiveness, but it's like a state where not everything's functioning. You're always moving forward each day. I'm sorry if I went philosophical there, but
yeah, a lot of big words.
Yeah, I'm reading too many books, I guess. But yeah, I agree with you totally. The past is the past, and the future is the future. Where's the live by?
Was it just because of coronavirus that changed you?
I was going down a path where I didn't really like myself. Like, I just in coronavirus just stopped that. Everything was put a hold. And you just started thinking about yourself, like all the girls that you liked, or the girls that you had relationships with, or the friends you've done this, or when you did this, or when you smoked that, or when you whatever it was, right? And you just started to realize, like, is that the person I want to be? If I wake up and I continue to be that person, will I be happy? And I realized that I wasn't. So I had to change something, or I had to improve. Yeah. And that's what I did.
Yeah, coronavirus, like, for me too, well, for you, like, you got to sit down, you kind of just, like, had to, like, live with yourself, and that's, I think, probably why you changed. I kind of had that a little bit before coronavirus, because like before coronavirus, like I broke my back, and I was kind of in that situation where I was in a situation where I was basically like on quarantine before quarantine, and I had to kind of just like live with myself because I was just like stuck in my head. I couldn't really move anywhere. But yeah. But I look to the future.
Yeah. I mean, the future is unknown, but like every single day is exciting, and sometimes days are tough, and sometimes they're better than others, but I'm happy where I am.
What do you think is going to be the new like big technology in the future?
Everything.
Yeah, future, or like close future.
Okay, close future. I think Neurolink. I don't want to really talk. I don't want to go into it because I don't like thinking about it because I'm an old head kind of, because I like old music. I like reading old books. I hate looking about like the news and stuff like that. On the topic of I don't go on my phone anymore because, like, as we talked in the last podcast, if you watched, I don't have social media, and I don't go on the news because personally I find it like discomforting seeing the things that happen, and I just think I'm much happier without them. So I don't know anything what's going on. Yeah. I just know Neuralink because my brother's talking about it all the time.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what Neuralink is, Elon Musk, he's developing this technology where like it implants into your brain, and like it's gonna be like computers. It's meant so far to help people with like seizures and neurological diseases to like stimulate the brain more. But so far, like, they've done some crazy stuff. They did it with a pig where they inserted in a pig's brain, and it was able to monitor like the pig smelling. And then they did another one where it was inserted into a monkey's brain, and why is it monkey funny?
Monkey go boom boom boom.
They implanted it into the monkey's head, and it was able to like play a video game, and then like with a controller. And then the Neuralink learned it after one game of playing, like how the brain worked. And then it did it again, like where the controller didn't work. And the Neuralink was controlling it the whole time. So like the brain was controlling what was happening on the screen in front of it.
That's so convoluted for no reason. Like we need I'm like kind of a Luddite. I want to go back in time. I'm going to, like, if Neuralink, I'm just going to destroy everything and make sure that that doesn't happen in my lifetime.
I think it's kind of cool. I mean, I'm kind of into like old retro stuff. I have a lot of disposable camera pictures. Like I love having like old like film. I don't really like looking at, or I do like taking photos and like seeing them on my phone, but it means something when you have it in your hand. But at the same time, like the future is like gonna be so cool. I mean, I think the next big thing what I think is gonna be the next big thing is like insertable technology. So kind of like Neuralink, or like having a screen like on your hand and like being able to like do stuff on your hand.
I don't know. I think of the Giver now. And right now I'm reading a book called Brave New World. I mean, it's in class. It's not based off of my choice. I'm not that smart. I'm not intellectual, but that book is super good, and it talks about like dystopian future, and reading that and talking about future just like it makes me scared. I don't want to talk about it too much, but Neuralink is interesting, and I'm glad that, I mean, it's not like I would want to live in like the 1930s where like diseases were everywhere. I'm happy where I am now, but it's just scary. But
I wish that we can have all the medical advances with like going back in time with like no phones or anything.
Oh yeah.
I mean, having a phone is like so helpful. I mean, I cannot really imagine a life now like without phones. It literally makes life so easy, and we're so reliant on it. Like, what do you think would happen if like all technology shut down? Because I know that like if a big solar flare happens, they could just cut out like all the wireless, and we can never really predict solar flares. Yeah. Like, what would you do in that situation? You don't have social media, so like, what would you do like if every like technology thing shut down?
Would it be temporary, or would it be like forever?
Forever.
Oh, okay.
Or we'll say it until like we could get it fixed. Oh, okay. But like all the satellites are gone. All the satellites are gone. Nothing works. There's no GPS anymore. No internet, no wireless, no technology, no video games. Just the internet stops working.
Oh God, I would know what I would do. I would walk, but like I like listening to music when I walk. So what would I do? I would just walk in. I don't know. Walk in silence. But we would figure out. I would just read books, I guess. Read like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Those books are good.
I think everyone would go crazy if the internet went out. Like I think it would be mass hysteria.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
And imagine people like that have Bitcoin, that like own everything in Bitcoin. I think they would like kill themselves. Like when people lose a lot of money, like they just don't know what to do.
Exactly, because that's why money. Yeah, because money is like what you just said. Like it's their life, their livelihood. They depend everything on money, and that's why money is bad, but also good.
I mean, do you think a dystopian future is coming in our future?
That's a complicated question. I think we're already in a dystopian future. I think we're already in a dystopian society, and we're just not realizing because we're desensitized to like, because we lived here. But like Aldous Huxley, he predicted so many things that happened already. Like I'm just imagining, like he died in 1963, and imagining if he like were to see us right now, he would look at it with such horror.
I mean, I'm like something I'm like really concerned about is like, or two things. One, technology, like. We're just so over obsessed with technology. I feel like we would go into a dystopia if the internet went out. Something like that were to happen, like would cause a dystopia, but also just like global warming. Like I think that's going to be like, once it like gets bad and people realize, oh, this is like an actual thing that's happening, because like people are so fucking dumb and they think that global warming isn't happening.
Stupid. They're literally so dumb. Like I was, because I'm part of a beach buddies club, I'm part of a club that deals with like cleaning up the beach and trying to stop global warming. And they showed us a video of this guy named Bill O'Reilly. He's a Fox, or he was a Fox Republican. And he said that climate change isn't real. You think humans can change the environment? No, that's only God's power. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Oh my God.
It's already so bad. Like hearing people just say that it's not real, like kind of, it pisses me off, because like I live so close to the ocean and I'm seeing like all this plastic pollution in the ocean. Like it makes me so sad, like when the ocean's disgusting and like all the coral dying and everything. Like it's just so hard to see like something like that's really close to me just like dying. And soon in the future, if we don't like fix something, it's gonna get way worse, and we're gonna get fucked, and there's gonna be no change, no way to fix it.
Being a part of the club, like they show you a lot of videos about plastic and about like how like debilitating and like pernicious these things that are like just they're attacking us and doing so many harmful things to us. But at the end of the day, what I can say in confidence is that people are trying, and that you are capable, right? Whoever is here, you're capable of doing a change. You can pick up a water bottle, not a plastic water bottle. That would be the bad thing to do. A hydro flask, that would be good, because that stops single bottle use, and that's going to be helpful for the environment. And what Blake was saying, global warming is real, and seeing it like completely destroy our beach is completely like just disheartening. But it's terrible, and it's everything, all negative things, but we can do something to change it.
We could just plant a bunch of trees.
Yeah, Mr. Beast.
But you know what's really scary is that like there's a bunch of studies coming out that like newly pregnant mothers like living now, they have microplastics in their fetus. That shit's terrifying.
Yeah. I also read another article that was saying that like fertility rates are gonna like that, like exactly, or people the amount of people like that semen a man can produce is gonna drop down because of the terrible microplastics that completely harm those organs.
All like the chemicals we're eating, like we're eating so many just like chemicals, like we're not even realizing.
Yeah, and like another terrible fact that I like learned because of the club is that we eat about like a card of plastic, like a credit card of plastic each week. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I'm not. That's what I heard, and it could be wrong. But we're still eating plastic, which is totally scary.
My camera turned off. The SD card was full, but we're getting right back into it. Yeah, I'm really scared because like knowing like all the bad stuff that's just like in food, like processed foods, like. If I'm like infertile when I'm older, like that's I think that's like my great purpose in life, or like one of my great purposes in life is to have kids.
To inseminate all women. That's my great purpose as a man.
Not to get every woman pregnant on earth. No, that is not the ultimate goal.
You toxic masculine. I'm just kidding.
That probably is most men's dreams. Men are gross. Not to men hate.
Toxic masculinity is real.
Yeah. But sorry.
I'm sorry. Oh god.
When I like if I can't have kids, I'm gonna be like depressed out of my mind. Like I just need to have kids. I want to be able to give someone else the opportunity of life. And like maybe if I can't have kids, I want to like be able to save a life.
No. Yeah, or save lives, because that's something you can do.
Yeah.
No, because that's always a worry, especially, I guess, a man, because maybe subconsciously deep down, like that's one of the things that are important to us, the ability to, if that's taken us, if we're impotent, or that can cause a lot of damage, like physically and mentally. Yeah, but at the end of the day, like I think about that because, it's a problem that I could have, or like being infertile is something that is very possible for me. But the advice that I give myself to anybody is that it's best not to worry about it. Let it come. And if it happens, well, you'll deal with it. You'll adapt.
Yeah, maybe adopt a kid.
Yeah, adopting a kid sounds good because, although like biologically it's not going to be the same, like mentally and like what you can do for that kid,
it could change your life.
Exactly. Or and make someone, a star or whatever it wants to be.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to, he or she doesn't have to be, I'm sorry if I'm just saying he or she, but I'm just making it easier for me. Doesn't have to be a star, you don't have to be a star to be like a good human being. Just be a good human being.
Yeah, you just said like brought up pronouns. What do you think about like Caitlyn Jenner? Because Caitlyn Jenner's running for governor of California, and like recently she was like on the news stating that she is going to like ban transgender women in sports.
See, like it's just like I used to have like a very construed opinion about this, but I think that trans women should be allowed to be in sports, because I think it's only talked about trans women in women's sports and not trans women or trans men in men's sports, and I think it's very like misogynistic in that sense. So I think trans women and trans men should be allowed in sports, and I think with Caitlyn Jenner, I think she did a good job of being like a spokesperson for the trans community. But personally, I think that running as a Republican is counterintuitive of what she's trying to
accomplish.
Exactly. It's kind of backwards. So I think it's like Kanye West. Her running is kind of like a joke and shouldn't be very taken seriously. But who knows? Donald Trump became president, so I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Kanye 2024, am I right?
Kanye, get stronger. Ba-da. Oh, it's gonna get demonetized. Copyrighted.
My favorite video of Kanye is he's with Kim Kardashian on a jet ski, and he runs over another jet ski, and who was his wife?
Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian. So Kanye and Kim Kardashian, they hit another jet ski. They go up like 10 feet in the air. They crash into the sand. And, Caitlyn Jenner's just like passed out like dead on the beach. And everyone's like, "Oh my God, is she okay?" Like the classic like Kim Kardashian voice. It's so funny.
Kanye West did that. Kanye West has said stupid shit, and but he makes good music. That's about all I can say. And like Instagram. When I had Instagram, the memes that people made of Kanye were so funny. Oh God.
What was it? Elon Musk. He said that one of like the big people he looks up to is Kanye, and everyone thought it was a joke, but he was being for real.
My brother, a lot of people I know. My brother, just one that on the top of my head, was really into Kanye. And Kanye was God. Kanye, thank you, Kanye.
Yeah, his God album.
Yeah.
You see where he was walking on water, like on his lake. That was so funny.
The one where I don't know if this was the God album, but the Scoopity Doop, Boopity Doop,
Scoopity Doop, Boop, Boopity Scoop.
Genius, God.
What was it? Who the baby when the baby said "fuck you, Jojo Siwa." Did you hear that?
The baby is so funny right now. I don't really care for his music at all, but like the memes, bro, the play, let's go.
No, my favorite like the baby meme is like "fuck you, Jojo Siwa." Like he said that in like a freestyle. He's like "fuck you, Jojo Siwa," and then it was like a comparison of their height, and Jojo Siwa was like 6'3", and the baby's like 5'7". Jojo Siwa would beat the shit out of the baby.
He's like 5'10", which is like crazy. Like not 6'3", but like I'm not sure. She's really tall. She would beat the shit out of fucking the baby, bro. Let's get beat.
I feel so awful for Jojo Siwa because like she came out as a lesbian. And she got raided by the FBI like the same day.
Why?
Not FBI. She got swatted. Oh. My bad. But like people like called the police saying like, "Hey, this girl has a gun and is like gonna kill someone." And then the SWAT came, like just swatted her just because like she came out as lesbian. sucks for the person that called because JoJo Siwa was making more bank than anyone else.
That won't phase her. That won't phase her at all. But like, it's just so toxic, and that's why sometimes you got to separate yourself from the internet and from all those toxic and nasty, disgusting, vile creatures that lurk on the internet who are incels. Well, yeah, I won't say any more of that.
I talked about it with one of my friends the other day. Like, the word incel, like I don't know if you know like what it means really. I kind of think I have a hard time, but it's like people that like dislike women so much, like that they just like hate on women. Is that the right word for it?
I feel like it's a person, and I looked it up because I like it's like an incel's like a virgin, or like that's one of the synonyms. But I think what you said was right. Like, they feel so emasculated by a woman's strength and their beauty that they find hatred for them, and therefore they say all these negative things, and that's why they're capable of getting any girls.
Yeah, I think I was also told that it's just like people who just like hate themselves like so much that they're just like an incel.
Yeah, or they lurk underneath the depths of the internet and talk behind the computer screen saying all these negative things.
Bro, the dark web is so scary. Dude, there's so much like bad shit. Like, you could buy drugs so easy. Like, you could get like fake IDs. There's like a bunch of child porn on there. Like, so like such awful things, and you could like murder for hire. Like, it's crazy what's on there. And apparently the dark web isn't even like the deepest it goes. Like, have you seen like the iceberg thing about the internet? It's like the normal internet we see like on a day-to-day basis is only like 30% of the internet.
That's scary.
I don't know how much, if I actually believe that that's only 30%, but apparently there's like the dark web, which is like a lot, and then there's like a deeper like
the teeniverse web.
The teeniverse web. I don't know, just like some like crazy deep down part of like the internet that's super hard to get into, that's like super hard to find, and just like has like all the most like nasty, like horrible things.
Yeah, because you were into creepypasta, weren't you? That's why. I mean, correct. That's what I've heard of the dark web. Is like, I remember when I was younger and I'd go to Blake's house and he'd be like, bro, we're gonna watch horror shit. We're gonna watch creepypasta, Joey the Killer, or whatever it was, and that's how I learned about the dark web. And I watched and when I watched the video, I couldn't sleep because they were talking about a guy who used the dark web, and he said something bad about
about like there was like people getting murdered, and he said something bad, and then someone came into his house. That video's, what was it? So basically the story is that there was this guy who went on the dark web, and apparently the story's true, but like with any creepypasta, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. I know, it was scary.
Bro, but I got my back turned.
He has his back to like a window right now, but like in the story, apparently that is real. This guy goes on the dark web and sees a bunch of like murder forums of like people like killing kids, like, or like just like horrible people. And like he watched like a live stream, like he accidentally stumbled on one, like someone getting murdered.
He says that's terrible, and then that turns into him getting chased by this guy in a mask, and that always scared me.
What was it like? There were like, it happened over a course of a day where like someone like wrote into his door, and then like someone was like in his closet like watching him,
or like outside the window.
Yeah. And there was like a van following outside his house, and there's just like one time like he was about to go to sleep, and then like he saw the guy in his closet, and it was the guy from the dark web, and then like he left another marking on the door, like saying like he'll be back. Like, that shit's so scary.
But I mean, you can't live your life thinking about that scary shit. So
good thing I'm not going on the dark web, right?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I would never go on the dark web.
I mean, like, it would be cool to just like check it out to see like what the dark web is, and just like see what it's like. At the same time, like, you could get fucked, like get all of your information like stolen. Like, you have to like prepare for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like we're curious creatures, and but curiosity can lead to
curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah, I was gonna say something cool, but you said it better.
Curiosity killed the cat. Good catchphrase for going on the dark web.
Yeah, but yeah, we just out of nowhere we just started talking on the dark web. But that's just how these podcasts work. So that's why I like about podcasts, because it can just be about one topic, and then all of a sudden it can be arbitrary, and it can be another topic. Which today we just surprisingly
all over the place. Yeah,
which is good. Dark web is scary. Scary. I don't like scary stuff. I like scary stuff.
I don't know. I've gotten like kind of like used to like scary stuff. Like demons and ghosts don't really scare me as much anymore, but like real life stuff, like someone breaking into your house, that scares me like more.
Yeah, horror movies, like, nah, they don't scare me more. Like, that shit doesn't scare me. But like real life stuff, like of like psychopaths and like convoluted stories of people, like real life stuff, like, bruh.
Yeah, that shit's scary.
Like Jeffrey Dahmer, bruh. Eat your heart out like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was crazy. I kind of find all that stuff super interesting, just because like it's like you try to like dive deep into like what these people are like thinking, and you're just like, how the fuck can someone think that way or like behave that way?
I mean, I feel like I've known so many people that have just gone through phases of like, or where they really, really liked learning about like psychopaths. And personally, for me, in my journey, well, not my journey, like when I like cared about, like I learned about Ed Kemper, Robert Ramirez, and all these terrible psychopaths that killed, dozens of people. And for me personally, like it was interesting, and I felt like I was gaining knowledge, right? I was gaining knowledge, but towards the end, I was just scaring myself, and I realized that I don't want to learn about these guys anymore because they make me feel that humanity is lost.
Well, at the same, like, there's obviously like psychological issues that are going on, like if you're like killing people like a psychopath, but I also feel like I'm conflicted on if I think stuff like that is still happening today, like to the level that like people like Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer were, because we have like technology now, like having phones and like being able to record everything. Like I think it would make it really hard for something like that to happen now.
Yeah, I bet that there's psychopaths still, out there lurking and killing. But I think whenever I talk about this with my mom a lot, it's like if you kill somebody, if you're like a gangbanger, or like if you're whatever you are, if you're killing someone, you're probably gonna get caught. No, not probably. You will certainly get caught because the system is just too complex for you to go away, and it'd be way too hard to escape.
I mean, I think about like people in rural areas, like living in like farms and stuff. Like, I wonder if they're able to get away with it like so easy.
Yeah. But I mean, we wouldn't really know because we're not psychopaths and we're not worrying about
No, maybe you are. That's part of being a psychopath, is that you can hide it really well.
Superficial. Nah, that stuff scares me quite a bit, and manipulative and stuff. But I think what you were saying, Blake, is that you can learn a lot from them, and it's interesting, So I guess that's good. But I feel like it's normalizing that, and that's not that good. But well, we in today's society, we're normalizing a lot of things, good things and bad things.
Yeah, the society and everything has just changed so much. The world we live in was definitely a lot different. Like even 10 years ago, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I mean, a couple of years ago, like things were a lot more accepted. And now we're getting to a point where we're really progressive, and I think, which is amazing. But I feel like it's to a point, progressiveness can only get to a point where progressiveness can open where like kind of like construed everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like cancel culture. Sometimes that's good, sometimes like it's not that good. Like we became really sensitive, like you can't really say like even though they're not right, like gay jokes, you can't make like anti-Semitic jokes, you can't really like make those types of like jokes anymore, like even though they were funny like back then, or they were like accepted back then, like they aren't right.
Yeah. And I think that's good about cancel culture, because I don't think it's right, but there's other things that I don't agree with, and I wouldn't want to like dive into that in today's podcast. But there's a lot of good things that came out of, I feel like in today's society we're progressing, and we're in a lot of social ways, which I really like.
I feel like we're really accepting. Like I think, obviously like the jokes, like really harsh, like gay jokes, anti-Semitic jokes, just like race jokes, like a lot of those have gone away, which is like a good thing. But like something that is just like really bad out of like the kind of like new progressive era of like our culture is that like no one could, like you can't give out an opinion. Like you have to kind of like oblige to the majority now. And yeah, exactly. You can't do that. You have to be group polarization, AP Psych facts, AP Psych vocab. You kind of have to just like polarize like your opinion, or else like everyone will kind of hate on you. And I think that's like the most like detrimental thing to our society right now.
Yeah, and it makes you kind of question whether you're really living your life on your own, or if you're really like thinking, if your thought process is based off of like the group, or what you think it's gonna abide to what their standards, or if they're gonna appease to what they want. And that's kind of scary. And that's what I feel like sometimes you get an identity crisis, and you just got to realize that no matter what, we all are affecting each other, and we're all changing others' opinions, you know, whether we want to subconsciously.
We got to learn to think for ourselves, which is like, people nowadays kind of make it kind of hard to think for yourself and have an opinion.
No, yeah, that's true. And but like, for instance, like loving yourself, because we talked about a lot about loving yourself last podcast. But yeah, that's the first thing. Like, especially for right now, say like I like this one girl, and I feel like sometimes when you like a girl, you feel like you start to like want to be what they want, right? Yeah. And you start becoming a person that they want you to be.
You become someone that you're not.
Exactly. And so you just gotta remember that you're you, and you gotta love you first.
Yeah. And that's all the time we have for this podcast episode. We got it almost 40 minutes. So that was pretty good. Thank you all for listening to the podcast. Thank you, Hector, for coming out to the podcast. It was a lot of fun. He's a great guest always. He doesn't have social media, so
find my phone number. Text me. Yeah. Go on
find someone that knows Hector to get in contact with them and tell them that you enjoyed the podcast.
But now we're back to school. If you're hearing this and you go to our school, if you know where I go, then you know, and you should come up to me and say nice things, and I'll say nice things back. But it doesn't have to be nice things, but we can talk. That's all.
So thank you all for listening to the podcast. Make sure to leave a like, leave a rating if you're watching on Apple Podcasts. Leaving a rating really helps out the podcast. Leave whatever support you can if you're watching on the YouTube. Leave a like, leave a comment. And also, I'm now an affiliate with Buzzsprout. So if you possibly want to make your own podcast, if you use my affiliate link, you guys could get a $20 Amazon gift card, and you guys could start your own podcast. I use Buzzsprout to post all my podcasts. It makes it really easy to post, upload, get promotional stuff out for your podcast. So if you guys are interested in ever making a podcast like I do, I really recommend Buzzsprout. They have over 100,000 people hosting podcasts on Buzzsprout, and it makes it really easy, and it's a lot of fun. So if you want to check out Buzzsprout, check out the link either in the audio description or on YouTube in the links below. So thanks again, Hector. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you, guys. Thank you a lot. If you're listening to this, I hope you have a wonderful day.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Thank you all for listening yet again, and have a nice day.